we're moving right along here. The Corning Bobcats on stage have a new head coach and Larry Treadway. Coach, it's great to have you and your boys here today.
I thank you for inviting us. I think it's going to be a good day for us.
Absolutely. Coach, if you would, just kind of give an opening statement and introduce the three young men you've brought with you.
Well, my name's Larry Treadway. I'm the new coach at Corning. I brought with me today my quarterback and safety, Clay Smith, closest to me here. The next guy is my defensive end and offensive guard, Jared Seelick. And then the guy on the end is Colin Wilson. He plays center and plays tackle for us.
Coach, if you would, obviously you're still a Bobcat. You're just a different Bobcat now. Talk to us about making the move and decision to head on over to Corning.
Well, you know, I've had people ask me, you know, this is 45 years that I've done this, and I can't imagine being retired. I'm not interested in that. I was lucky enough that the superintendent hired me at Corning. I've inherited a good group of kids. We've been working out at 7 in the morning, had 25 to 30 kids coming up. It's been a good turnout, and from the get-go, as I tell people all the time, it's I don't get it. They're good-looking kids. I'm just telling you, things are going to change.
If you would, just talk a little bit about your offense first.
Well, offensively, we're actually in a spread right now. The purpose of that, obviously, is I've got a kid beside me here that can throw at football, and I've got some kids that can catch it. Now, I've got some big offensive linemen, so we could go under the center at any time, too, and run right at you. I think Jared told me a while ago, he added it up. I think we've got average about 275 pounds across the front in our offensive line. So there's a lot of things we could do, but offensively, we'll probably start out in a spread.
And the defensive side?
Well, we're probably being a 40 look. You know, once again, I've got some pretty big kids. My front group up there with Jared in that group, I mean, across the wall there, they could be 260, 270, and then I've got a couple of linebackers. I've got a Comstock kid that's, I guess he's 6'2", 200 pounds, and he's a beast. I mean, there's some really good-looking football players. It's going to be my job to get them going, but I'm really optimistic that we're fixing to turn the corner.
Well, and you seem very optimistic. Obviously, you guys have a streak going on right now that you want to end, and probably as quickly as possible. Talk about kind of having that lingering over you and how to overcome that.
Well, you know, we really don't talk about that much, and you know, we don't say anything like, you know, God, we hadn't won a game in 4 years or hadn't won a game in 42 outs, stuff like that. We're pretty optimistic about where we're going. We're opening up with Rector, which should be a good ball game. Matter of fact, we're going to play them back-to-back. I don't know if you saw that on our schedule. That's the first time I've ever done that in 45 years. We're going to play them first and second. So Brinkley dropped us and went to 8-man football, so we had to have a game. So Coach Hendrick called me and said, let's just play twice. So we're going to do it. So we know the opener is going to be a good challenge for us. I think last year it was a close ball game, and Rector won it. So we've got our eyes set on starting off real good and getting after Rector and see if we can get this thing moving.
Coach, it sounds like you're going to fling the football. Talk to us about your mindset, throwing the football offensively and then pass the mic down to your quarterback.
Well, where we're at right now, as I said, Clay throws the football extremely well. I mean, he's quarterback last year, and you know, there's a little background on him, goes all the way back. I mean, he's got a grandpa, Mike Smith, that coached there. He's got an uncle that coached there. He's just loaded in Corning tradition. He's a great leader. He can run. He's got great speed, good arm strength. So we think that we're going to be able to do those things, not to mention that we're going to run the football with him. And then we've got kids that can run the football too. We had 10 kids that ran 4.9 or under. Like some of them were 4.8 and 4.7. I mean, there were some good times in there. So I just think that we're fixing to put it together, and it's going to start with these three guys right here.
Clay, pick up the mic. Talk to us about throwing the football and your family tradition at Corning. What does Corning football mean to you?
Obviously, we've installed a lot of the spread stuff this year. We've done it in the past too, but we're really working on really passing the ball good and hitting the receivers in stride and stuff like that. And family tradition, my grandpa was coach there, my uncle's coach there. Ever since I've been little, it's all been about Bobcat football.
Good stuff. Pass the mic down. Just keep going. From an offensive line standpoint, obviously you have some peers to your right and left that are pretty big boys. Tell me about the sense of pride that you take as an offensive line. I know it all starts there.
Well, you're right about that. It all starts with the offensive line. The running backs, they've got to find the seam in the offensive line, and I just take pride in the fact that we're clearing holes for these guys to run through, and the fact that a football team cannot be successful without an offensive line, and the fact that we'll be successful this year because of our strength and our size on the offensive line and our ability to move. And I think good things are going to happen for our offense.
Good deal. Just keep passing down. Biggest change this year with new coach at the helm.
He believes in us and just, telling us so we can do stuff and, not like putting us down or anything, just always bringing us up.
Coach, a lot of times when a coach takes over a new program, there's a lot of talk about changing the culture. With a program that has a rich tradition like Corning has, is it more of maybe just knocking the rust off the culture as opposed to like a full-blown change? And then the second part of my question is for your seniors here, how important is it for you guys to kind of set the tone as far as buying in for the younger players?
Well, changing the culture, obviously, as you know, that changes when you win ball games. I always tell people that there's a lot of things I can do. I can give a great motivational speech. I mean, we can rah-rah these kids. We can cook out. We can do whatever you want to do, but we got to win a ball game. And they know that too. And I really think, you go back and look at the tradition. As I said, I've done this 45 years. 45 years ago, I coached my first football game at Corning. I was at Paragould. I was a Paragould Bullpup junior high coach. And I went down and played against Don Campbell that long ago. And it's just so unbelievable that I'm there now. As a matter of fact, we had our big banquet. Don came to it. A lot of people came to it. There's so many people, guys, interested in this. We put on Facebook the other night, Coach Cook, my assistant coach, did, I guess maybe a week ago, where we were selling old jerseys. Guys, I'm telling you, you would have thought we were selling gold. That people jumped on those. I think we raised $1,500 at $20 a jersey in about, I guess, 6 hours. So people still like it. They're still around it, and they believe in it. I get calls from everybody that ever played at Corning. Coach, get this thing going. I mean, they're interested. The community's interested. It's a good country environment. A lot of churches, a lot of good folks around there, and we're just waiting for this thing to tilt and start going.
Coach, if you would, just give a closing statement in regard to the upcoming season.
Well, we're in a conference, with Walnut Ridge, with Hoxie, Osceola, the Newports. At one time, as you know, we had Rivercrest. I can remember guys going Rivercrest, Osceola, Newport, just back to back to back. But I really believe the way we're set up right now with our conference and our non-conference schedule, we've got a chance to start out good, and we're looking forward to it, and we think it's going to happen.